Hello, my name is Adam Lazzara. This here is my main man, John Nolan. We're two-fifths of a band called Taking Back Sunday, and you are watching APTV.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Nick Major, your APTV Los Angeles correspondent, out today in Denver, Colorado at Riot Fest. I've got Adam and John of Taking Back Sunday. How are we doing?
That's us. We're doing great. Thanks for having us.
Of course. You guys have been around since the late 90s, early 2000s. And
yep. 13. That's how old we were when our first record came out. We were 13.
They were 13 years old. They were in the 7th grade, 8th grade.
Yep.
Coolest kids in middle school. Because actually, I was around the age when I first saw you guys. I was 13. And
oh, so we were the same. So we're the same age.
We're the same age, actually.
Yeah.
But I remember when I'd go to concerts back then, it was like, where's Waldo when I went to find my friends? Yeah. Because there was no cell phones, there was no texting anybody.
Or like, yeah, you had to make a plan to meet somebody, like on a real phone, like a landline, and then just hope that your friends weren't flaky.
You guys have been one of the bands that you've been around during the technological advances of social media, of cell phones, and is that anything that you would have ever imagined as a band back in 1999, the way that you're able to connect with fans nowadays?
No, man, like back then, you know, like I remember when we first started, like MySpace was just becoming a thing. And then so it's crazy now to think about how much that's changed. Like I think it's good, you know, like cuz everything's a lot more readily accessible, but then again, I think it takes a lot of the mystery out of rock and roll, and that's a lot of what I like about rock and roll.
It's a little harder to be cool, you know, because people can tell how not cool you are more easily.
Slipknot, they have some new members, and it just took a few days for everybody to figure out who the new members were, just because everyone's matching tattoos and words getting around.
Wow, yes, and when they started, there actually people legitimately didn't know who was in the band, right? But that was because it was probably everybody has cell phones and internet constantly. In the earlier days, people were a lot more like nervous and weird. I don't know if it's maybe because everyone was younger, like we were younger, and the band was newer, but I don't know. Now I think people seem a little more like comfortable. At least that's been my experience the past few years, and I think in some way that is because they feel a little more like they know you or like have a rapport with you. You're not just like crazy stranger that, you know, that's insane to even see walking around doing anything, you know. Like, so for me, it seems like people are a little more like laid back when I talk to them than when they used to be.
Is that better? Do you prefer when the fans can come up to you kind of with more of a chill?
I like it. It makes me feel really weird when I'm talking to somebody and they're shaking and like on the verge of tears. I mean, it's very flattering, but it's very hard to feel normal in that situation.
Now being able to walk around with like a smartphone in your pocket that can do everything that you'd ever needed to, how has that impacted you?
I have a vast knowledge of like useless facts because we're always Googling things, and so there's that.
It made you smarter.
Yeah, I don't know about that because there's only so much information I retain, but it's super convenient. I mean, for us, like being on tour, you know, like when we get to a city and we just kind of wake up there, you know, because we're on the bus, and so I could just go on Yelp and know what's around without having to walk around and get lost, which is super convenient.
Forget about that. Like the days you get to a town and you just start walking and hope you're gonna find something cool to check out or do, but you have no idea. Like there were places we would go all the time that I always thought there was nothing to do around there, and it just turned out I wasn't walking in the right direction. Like
you had a smartphone.
And then I got the phone and I'm like, oh my God, just 4 blocks the other way, there's all this cool stuff.
And now you can have stuff. I think you just made a tweet something about like Albany not having Uber.
That's another funny thing too, because I use Uber a lot because it's
amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of the best, but they didn't have one in Buffalo, New York, and I was just shocked. But then I found out that a lot of cities are banning Uber because Well,
the taxi companies.
Yeah, like because the taxi companies were complaining that it was taking away a lot of business, but I think in that setting, it should create some kind of friendly competition, and then hence better rates for everybody. But they're just mad that things are changing. And then again, with this whole technology conversation, you know, it's like Bob Dylan said: you change with the times, or you sink like a stone.
Like all the bands, you had to all adjust to the digital age, and then it's kind of like all the taxi companies, they might need to adjust to more of the get used to the Uber cars.
We didn't get to stop people from downloading music illegally. Why do they get to stop Uber? That's not right.